morning and welcome to Morning Ride on Delta Television, the People's Pride. On behalf of the board, management and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service, we welcome you to the broadcast of Monday, the 25th of May 2026. I am Blessing Usiagbada and I'm not alone this morning. I'm working alongside Ogaga Ekama to bring you an informative, educative and entertaining edition of the program this morning. Good morning, Ogaga.
Good morning, Blessing. Good morning, viewers. How are you doing? It's great and amazing to know that you've joined us this amazing Monday morning. Blessing, how was your weekend?
It was good. I slept well last night as well. It rained heavily in Asaba. I was actually in Ubolu. It rained in Ubolu, then it rained in Asaba. So it was a pleasant weekend for me. It was a pleasant night rest I had.
Oh, wow.
Hope you slept well too.
But short nights, that's what I usually have because for some weird reasons I don't go to bed on time.
You should be.
Yeah, so anytime I have to work early, like work on the morning belt,
I understand.
I sleep shortly. So, but it's all good. After the close of work, I'll get myself some good rest.
All right. Today is the 25th day of May 2026. Today is Africa Day, Global Africa Day. Sometimes you can call it Africa Day or the Global Africa Day. It is a day set aside every May 25th to celebrate African unity, culture, resilience, and development. Now, the day marks the formation of the Organization of the African Unity in 1963, now known as the African Union, the AU. Now, this year's Africa Day celebration also marks 63 years of African unity and cooperation. Now, interestingly, the African Union's 2026 theme focuses on sustainable water availability and safe sanitation systems as part of achieving Africa's Agenda 2063 development goals. Now, the theme for this year, continent.
Okay, that's very, very interesting, celebrating Africa and all of that. So it's a good thing because when you look at Africa, one of the things to add last week, and the person was just comparing and contrasting and saying most of a couple of fashion brands like frontliner fashion brands, and you could trace them to African origins, the logo and all of that. So the person was trying to push for the idea that this so-called Western culture, as it were, it's not to Africa. As a matter of fact, they came to Africa, saw some of those things, and they got creative with them.
Yeah.
So whatsoever they are designing and all of that, it's already in Africa. And you know, our diversity is colorful and beautiful. So Africa is a great continent, but the downside is that I don't think that Africa truly understands its worth.
Yes. No, today we're celebrating Africa Day today. It is important to remember that the strength of Africa lies in our unity, our mutual respect, and peaceful coexistence among Africans themselves. Now, over the past few weeks, we've been seeing videos on social media, circulating on social media, xenophobic attacks on Nigerians and other Africans as well in South Africa. It is really disturbing that in this era, we're still dealing with xenophobia in South Africa. So today, as we're celebrating African Day today, Africans should understand that we are better when we stand together. We are better when we are united. So we shouldn't be having reports, or we shouldn't be seeing videos of such terrible treatment on Nigerians and other Africans as well. We shouldn't be saying that. And we can only truly move forward when we are united. When we talk about development in Africa, we can only move forward when we come together, when we are united, and we do what we can to push the continent forward. So we should see ourselves as brothers and sisters and not enemies. I can't imagine people saying Africans or strangers coming to our lands and take our jobs. The question is, did you apply? I don't want to go into that debate, but you can't be saying strangers came into your land, came into your country to take your jobs. We should see ourselves as one. We should see ourselves as brothers and sisters. And then beyond our different nationalities, like Ogaga said, our diversity is beautiful. Beyond these nationalities, beyond our languages, beyond our cultures, we share a common identity. we should understand that we share a common identity and we also share a common future as Africans. So let's be united as Africans.
I also like to use this opportunity to call out leaders, because although the debate is still there, African countries, are we still being colonized? Although if you ask me, I would say neo colonialism is still very much in play in Africa and all of that. But this is an opportunity for rulers in Africa, government office holders, politicians in Africa, because most times I don't like calling them leaders, because to a large extent I don't think that they are doing a great job in leadership. Yes,
they're politicking.
Yes, so political office holders, please do right by your people. There is a lot of resources base that God has blessed Africa with, that we can do much more than the level we're in right now. And that's to let you know, some words and even those in Asia, they come to Africa, it's because they know what we have. So let's get creative, let's take advantage of that which we have. Our popularity, the population is a gift in itself as well. So let us understand that we are one. And for political office holders, know that you are there to serve your people and for Africa to shine bright. And as a matter of fact, Africa has the ability to become the best continent in the world. It sure does. Now, away from that, another thing being celebrated today is World Football Day. Now, it's very, very interesting to think that major leagues across from Nigeria, the Nigeria Professional Football League came to an end yesterday, and also most Western leagues from the EPL in England, the Spanish La Liga during the weekend came to an end and all of that. So it's very nice to see that today is World Football Day, and the emphasis is on the transformative power of football. Now, one of the things that those persons, football lovers and fans, know about football, that it has the power to unite people. Now, when it comes to electioneering year and campaign year, especially I've narrowed it down to Nigeria, we see things that there is this division along ethnic lines, religious division and ethnic baiting and all of that, party lines and all of that. But when it comes to football, we do not remember that.
Yeah,
the Yoruba man is hugging the Hausa person, the Fulani and the Yoruba, they are the same team, they are celebrating. I saw a video yesterday posted by an Arsenal fan, because Arsenal eventually became champions of England after 22 years, and it was Nigerians putting together a carnival in Abuja. They had stage, the lights and the effects. So it's such a beauty to see what football does, and that's why sometimes it also breaks my heart when we see the issue, when there's the issue of racism in football, from UEFA in Europe to FIFA across the globe. They're trying to push out that narrative that racism is not tolerated in football and all of it. So it's a beautiful thing, and to think that the World Cup is coming up in 17 days, June 11. So football lovers from all across the world, they are rooting for their countries, their team and all of that. So football is a beautiful game that unites people, and it's also something that every government should invest in. Now, despite what's happening between America and Iran, FIFA has also come up to say that Iran will be participating in the World Cup.
Not just saying it, they are also clamoring. I read a report about Iran saying they're yet to receive, I don't know what it is they were yet to receive, but they are showing enthusiasm that they really want to be part of the World Cup.
Yes, because the US, they are part of the host. Yes, so that's to tell you how the power football has over humans. So it has a power to unite. So let's keep at it and encourage our children, because growing up back then, most Nigerians wanted that when you tell your parents that you want to play football, they'll be like, what is that? Come and go to school and be a graduate. So also, but we're seeing that it's also a very lucrative sport and all of that. So encourage your children. If that's where they take interest, encourage them, and that's it.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be so passionate about talking about World Football Day today. Like you said, Ogaga said it all. World Football Day. Football is one game or one sport that unites the whole world, not just the country, the whole world. It is a game that people love. It is a game that brings people together. And I love football. I'm a woman, but I grew up watching football with my dad and my brothers, and I now understand the game. I have a football club of I'm a fan of a particular football club. I would want to mention that, but it's beautiful.
I know it's not Arsenal. This one you didn't mention.
No,
it cannot be Arsenal.
It's beautiful. World Football Day. Ogaga said much about that, but the angle I'm going to take is here in Nigeria. I want to narrow it down to our country, Nigeria. I think government should do better when it comes to harnessing young talents. Like you said, the Premier Football League, the Nigerian Premier Football League, has just been concluded, and we want to see more young people come out and be passionate about football. Because I remember then in secondary school, we had a very young, bright athlete that did not even finish secondary school with us. He was taken out of the country. He's an athlete now. He runs for the country. So parents who want their children to go to school and become doctors, nurses, engineers, it's a good one. But if your child has been given a talent, you shouldn't stop that child from using that talent to become something. So we've seen many football stars who became big, who became football stars, and after a while went back to school to get their certificates. So I'm not saying your child shouldn't go to school, but I'm saying don't deny the child the opportunity to use their talent. And for government in different states in the country, we should look for a way to get this bright young boys and girls. I'm particular about women now, young boys and girls. Get them if they have the talent, help them, assist them in harnessing that talent, and help them become something for themselves. When we talk about unemployment rate in Nigeria, it's not all about the white-collar job or people sitting in offices. There are ways that we can create jobs for the young people. So government should begin to look at talents and how to harness talents and how to help young people become something for themselves and their families and the communities as well. All right, that's it for our celebrations and observance today. Now let's go to trending stories. We're going to start with Delta State. Yes, let's start from home. The Delta State Governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori, has emerged as the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC for the 2027 gubernatorial election after securing a sweeping affirmation in the party's primary election. The primary exercise, which party leaders, delegates, and supporters from across the state ended in a strong endorsement of Governor Oborevwori's candidature, further consolidating his position within the ruling party ahead of the 2027 general election. Now, announcing the outcome at the APC State Secretariat, the chairman of the APC Governorship Primary Election Committee, Engineer Victor Abba, declared Governor Oborevwori as the duly affirmed governorship candidate of the party. He described the exercise as peaceful and the provisions of the Electoral Act. Engineer Abba commended party members and stakeholders for their unity, discipline, and commitment throughout the primary process, noting that the overwhelming support for Governor Oborevwori reflected the confidence reposed in his leadership and administration. Now, supporters of the governor who gathered at the party secretariat shortly after the announcement celebrated the outcome expressed in the 2027 governorship election under Oborevwori's leadership. The affirmation marks a significant milestone for the APC in Delta State as the party intensifies preparations and strategic mobilization ahead of the forthcoming governorship poll. Now, this is interesting. First of all, I will commend the voters, commend the committee for a peaceful and transparent process. It has been described as peaceful, orderly, and transparent. But what makes this primary very interesting is the fact that Governor Sheriff Oborevwori originally emerged under the PDP, and then he moved with the executive and the legislature. They all moved into the APC, and now he has emerged as the APC's governorship flag bearer. It's very, very, very interesting, because when they actually moved to the APC, there were some analysts, there were some persons or some Deltans who were really concerned about the movement from the PDP to the APC, and people were wondering how would the primaries look, how would the elections in 2027 be like? Would there be internal unity? Would there be cohesion within the party? How are they going to cope? Old members of the APC and the new members who have come in now, how are they going to handle it? This primary just showed that there is unity within the party, and somehow, I don't know how they did it, somehow the governor and his team members, they've been able to put their house together and make sure that things are working well in the party. And we hope that for the party, we do hope that this will be sustained till the 2027 elections, because primaries is one thing, then the general poll is another thing. We do hope that they remain united till 2027.
Well, I don't think everybody will agree with a statement of yours saying there's unity within the party because of all that's happening, not just in Delta states, and this is not limited to the gubernatorial primaries, even in states like Bauchi.
No, when I talk about the party, I'm not talking about the party in Delta State. I'm not talking about the APC in the national level. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in Delta State.
Even the party
so
in
the
Delta
governor
State
to have, unopposed. He was the governor unopposed.
On the, yes. So on the governor, but even the party in Delta State, people still argue about the unity because now, first of all, the person who announced the result for Delta State is the APC State Secretariat. That's the chairman of the APC Governorship Primary Election Committee. However, we need to remember that last week, when most of the elections from the National Assembly to the gubernatorial and also the presidential held, APC sent a memo to its officials that official announcement will be done at the National Secretariat.
Yes, and that has been done. That has been done.
At the National Secretariat.
At the National, the announcement has been made.
At the National
the
Secretariat.
list has been released.
By APC.
Yes. Hasn't it been done?
No, because APC released a statement yesterday. And look, let me just read it and this is the head. It said 2027 general elections, primaries, legislative by-elections. APC announces dates for submission of reports and result sheets.
Okay, just go on with what you were saying.
So now it's saying that today is actually the deadline for the submission of reports and result sheets, and this covers for governorship, senatorial, House of Representatives, and state results. Okay. So it means that at state levels, yes, at the state level, I'm not just limited to Delta State, different state primary elections committee have announced theirs.
Yes.
But the APC, that's why I started by.
The national.
The national will be the one to give the announcement. And on national level, it's only the presidential winner that has been announced, which is the current president, President Tinubu. He won is the person that contested against him, Stan Yosifu. That was a huge margin, almost 11 million votes, and so that being said, yes, people are taking congratulations. Even media houses, they've been reporting.
I mean, what else do you want? Especially, I can speak for Delta State. I can't speak for other states.
No, I'm just bringing the balance. It's not about what I want. That's what I speak from. So I must not. I should not come from your angle. Do you understand? You've already reiterated, and I'm not flowing what you said. You've given the angle. So not to sound repetitive on air, I can't be repeating what you've said. So that being said, now the central. Even that's to tell you that there are aspirants who ran in the primary elections that are still awaiting the national secretariat to declare its winners.
And also, remember that there's a committee set up to address grievances.
Yes, there's an appeal committee. So, however, that being said, congratulations to the governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori. There was nobody opposing him and all of that. And to see that he emerged smoothly, because, like you said, there were concerns if he would even get the party's ticket, and it's something we'll look forward to as Morning Right continues this morning, because the APC primaries will look at it in a more holistic way during the course of the program, because we had some people that were occupying positions that defected. I think I was even the Senator Nedwoko, he said that before he defected into the APC, he was guaranteed a straight ticket. They returned unopposed.
We're going to talk about all of this. Guaranteed by who? By the party leaders?
Yes,
or
the former APC chairman, Ganduje.
But it's not Ganduje that's going to come to Delta to cast his vote for you.
The parties have them. Not because of the program. that. Now, still on the APC primaries.
What?
Now, still on the APC primaries, let's take it to the national level where the president, the incumbent president, and the winner of the APC presidential ticket, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has hailed the APC primaries as a reflection of internal democracy. I think that aligns with Blessing's thoughts here about the APC in Delta State. President Bola Tinubu has described the 2026 All Progressives Congress primaries across the country as a strong reflection of internal democracy, transparency, and active grassroots participation within the ruling party. The president stated that the conduct of the primaries demonstrates the party's commitment to democratic principles and inclusiveness, noting that party members across various states have been given the opportunity to freely choose their preferred candidates ahead of the 2027 general elections. President Tinubu, who also emerged victorious in the APC presidential primary, commended party leaders, delegates, and members for maintaining peace and order during the exercise, while urging all participants and their supporters to remain united and place the overall interest of the party above personal ambitions. According to him, the APC remains focused on strengthening its internal structures and consolidating on the achievements of its administration, adding that the party is determined to continue delivering good governance and sustainable development for Nigerians. The president also called on those who may not emerge victorious in the primaries to support the party's candidates and work together with the APC in the forthcoming elections. Now, we'll start off from the last part.
I think there's a video of the president speaking and talking about the primaries. I don't know if we have that video of the president himself speaking about the primaries and yeah.
Okay, so basically, what we saw just right now was just the opponent to the president in the presidential candidate, Stanley Osifo, going to congratulate the president, and that's what the president is calling for, that people should not be sour losers, that even though you do not emerge victorious, that you should also work together to ensure the victory for the APC in the forthcoming elections, because this is just primaries. It means that the winners of the primaries, they will get to fly the flag for their party. Now, that is one thing, and I think that it is something that people need to take to heart, because when you even consider the current ruling against INEC on election timetable that came out on Wednesday last week, it's extended. So with that, although INEC is saying that they will look at the judgment and they will see if they will appeal or whatsoever, it's not giving room for something that people thought will not be possible, the ability after losing a primary, defecting to another party. Now, if that verdict stands,
but the Electoral Act can one defect to another party right now and contest another party?
That's what the Electoral Act
allows it.
Right. The Electoral Act allows it, but INEC's timetable and schedule and new rule was against that. It will not permit that. But INEC was taken to court by a party, I think the Youth Party. Yes, a Youth Party, and the verdict was in favor of Youth Party. So now, if that stands and INEC does not appeal and victory is not in favor of INEC, it means that people that lost in the APC and are not pleased and probably did not get a return ticket, they can now start defecting and all of that. So, but the president has called for peace, oneness, and I think that it's a good call. And him saying it's a reflection of internal democracy. Other persons will, because there has been call on INEC. We've seen videos, even this option A4 idea, people standing. It was a good idea because, and I must commend the president, because initially when they were talking about APC primaries, we say it was going to be largely consensus. And even the president, as of that time, they were different from the National Working Committee and all of that of the APC, the Governors Forum, Progressive Governors, and all of that. They were all in support of the president being the party's flag bearer. However, when Stanley Osifo, he came and all of that, and he said that, okay, go and test your popularity the way Desmond Elliott put it.
Nigerians don't believe that's what actually played out. I'm reading some comments on different social media platforms, and Nigerians don't believe.
Not just limiting it.
They don't even believe what played out. They just feel like this is just African magic.
But not just limiting to the presidential election.
Yeah.
There were certain persons who were saying it was going to be largely consensus and consensus. But when the president saw that, okay, even people that came from previous party into the APC and people that had been promised that, don't worry, your ticket is automatic and all of that, it was said that the president said, in a situation like this, he said, go and test your popularity. Let the people decide. And that's where direct primaries came in. Yes, but the internal democracy thing, people have also called on INEC because of videos that we've seen trending online, where situations where people, it's as though they don't understand arithmetic, or they are just being intentionally dubious. You see somebody moving from 41 to 100, from 200 to 300, and we're like, INEC ought to monitor these elections. And people are saying, if the ruling party, this is how your primary plays out, what should we expect come 2027? So it's a whole lot, lots of question marks.
President Bola Tinubu describing the APC primaries as evidence of internal democracy. It is politically expected. What would you expect him to say? It is really politically expected, and the APC is trying to, present itself as a party that's stable, as a party that has unity. When you look at all that, look at what is happening in other parties. So the APC, as the ruling party, is doing its best to make sure that everything remains stable and there's unity in the party. So I was expecting the president to say that and to commend the process, the primaries that was held across the country. But some political office holders, some political big shots, the primaries presented in some way unexpected results, because we saw some very big political figures lose the primaries, while others
for example, Minister of Power Adebayo in Oyo State, he didn't win the ticket.
So despite their influence, we saw some big political office holders lose their tickets, while some other persons won, surprisingly. But not everyone would agree with the president's statement that there is unity and internal democracy in the APC. Like Ogaga said, there have been complaints from several parts of the country that there's complaint arrangement, complaints about candidates. We've heard, some complain that some candidates and they were not elected. So in Nigeria, I earlier spoke talking about the governorship primaries, that for a governor to have moved to a new party and then come up unopposed, it shows that he's at the top of his game. But for the national, not everyone would agree with the president that there's unity. But one other thing that we need to, our realities, challenges that we have, inflation, the rising price of fuel, unemployment, rising cost of living, and Nigerians are not only interested in who's winning the primaries. Nigerians are interested. They're interested in whether these political leaders or these politicians that have won the primaries and may win the polls in 2027, they're interested in what they're coming to do for the people. Those that have won the primaries and hopefully they win the elections, they should understand are looking for the challenges that we have in the country. So they should not just be interested in winning the primaries and winning the elections. They should all themselves to come into office and come with solutions, come with ideas to make Nigeria a better place. So congratulations to all the winners in the primaries. Congratulations to Governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowore. Congratulations to the President. Congratulations to all who won the primaries. But we hope that now that you've won the primaries and hopefully you'll win the elections in 2027, you are coming to make things better for Nigerians. That is what Nigerians are interested in. All right, let's move on from the story, or you have more to say?
No.
Let's move on to another trending story. Still on the elections and the primaries, while the president is setting the unity, internal democracy in the APC, a fresh political drama is unfolding in Kano State as the son of former APC national chairman and ex-Kano State governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has reportedly pledged for a seat in the House of Representatives. The unexpected conversations across the country, with many describing it as a major political alignment ahead of the 2027 general elections. For years, the Ganduje political family has been strongly associated with the All Progressive Congress APC, making this development one of the biggest surprises in the political scene in recent times. Political analysts believe the decision could reshape alliances, influence voter sentiment, and trigger fresh calculations among major political actors in Kano State and beyond. With the 2027 elections gradually approaching, this development further confirms that Nigeria's political atmosphere is already heating up. Okay, like I did say that not everybody is going to agree with the president that there's internal democracy and unity in the APC, and this is really surprising. It's a really surprising development because the Ganduje family, they have for years they've been associated with the APC, especially in Kano State politics. Now, when the son of a former APC national chairman chooses another political platform, it's not naturally it will raise questions about the internal disagreements, political calculations, or there may be possible cracks within. It's natural that people will begin to ask questions that how can the son of a former APC national chairman choose another party to run for a seat. Now, Nigerian politicians defecting to other parties is not a new thing. It's not a new thing, but this situation is quite different because of